Hello, I'm Mike Binkley. Tonight, a Mankato mall turns into one-stop shopping for a life-saving meningitis vaccine. The search for a missing Waconia woman comes to a surprising end. And we'll take a sneak peek at the future of electronics. Eyewitness News is next.
My, what big ears you have.
All the better to hear you with, my dear.
And what big eyes you have.
The better to see you with, my dear.
Real red, real smooth. Red Wolf.
My, what big teeth you have. What are they for? Oh, my.
Follow your instincts.
New Ragu Hardy. You're gonna love it.
Years ago, I looked like that. Then I lost 40 pounds in 4 months on the Ultra Slim Fast plan. The best news is I've kept it off. It hasn't always been easy, but I eat sensibly and start almost every day with a delicious Ultra Slim Fast shake. For me, it's the best breakfast. It gives me as much protein as this, as much calcium as this, and as much fiber as 4 bowls of Special K, plus 19 essential vitamins and minerals. So come on, lose weight and feel great with the Ultra Slim Fast plan. It's America's healthy way to lose weight.
We flooded this jump to introduce Goodyear's new Wrangler AquaTread for light trucks and sport utilities. 2 aqua channels sweep water away for outstanding wet traction. The 50,000-mile Wrangler AquaTread, only from Goodyear.
The power of Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine is taking shape in new Alka-Seltzer Plus liquid gels, rushing concentrated medicines to relieve your worst cold. Rush relief with new Alka-Seltzer Plus liquid gels.
Oh, I can't wait to tell you the news. You know all that seafood you love at Red Lobster? Well, we've just lowered our prices. Our new menu has 15 dinners under $10, like our shrimp sampler, just $7.99, with sizzling scampi, flame grilled shrimp, fried shrimp, plus bread and salad, just $7.99. How's everything?
Delicious.
You know, with our delicious seafood and 15 dinners under $10, you're gonna love Red Lobster even more. See you soon.
Good evening, America. I'm Joan London. This week on Good Morning America, a Middle East peace update from Israeli Foreign Minister Shimon Peres and a deadline from the White House on the baseball strike. Then Heather Locklear, Drew Barrymore, Chef Julia Child, and Sharon Stone this week on Good Morning America. In a moment, Spencer Christian with a look at how he'll be spending the coming week.
This week, I'll be making my weather predictions while I'm experiencing the wide variety of weather from Canada to Florida. Along the way, I'll be visiting the Quebec Winter Carnival, skiing the slopes of Vermont, exploring Washington's Smithsonian, touring historic Savannah, and testing the warm waters off Key West, Florida. Come along on my great north to south adventure on this week's Good Morning America here on ABC. Right now, though, stay tuned for your local news coming up next.
The American Broadcasting Company, ABC.
Live from KSTP TV St. Paul, Minneapolis, this is Channel 5 Eyewitness News at 10.
Tonight, workers convert a shopping mall into a mass vaccination clinic as Mankato residents try to ward off deadly bacteria. Good evening. One high school student has already died, even after being vaccinated. Tomorrow morning, thousands of people who have family members at that high school will get vaccinated themselves. The outbreak of meningitis has affected 7 people in Mankato so far. The vaccination takes several days to take effect. Channel 5's Angela Davis is standing by live now where this massive effort is being staged. Angela?
Well, Mike, as this meningitis outbreak spreads, so does the effort to immunize people at risk. Beginning at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, between 5,000 and 6,000 people will come to this shopping center, Madison East Center in Mankato, for a shot and antibiotics. Now, after immunizing all of the students at Mankato West High School, the State Department of Health is now targeting the immediate family members. Mankato West freshman Kelsey Riley was vaccinated against meningitis last week. Now, it's Mom and Dad's turn.
I don't think anybody ever likes shots, but I'm going to have it, and I'm going to urge our 20-year-old son to have it also. And I think maybe it'll take a little bit of the weight off of our minds.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm thankful that they're extending the vaccination to all of us as a precautionary measure to make sure it doesn't go any further.
Monday, the Rileys will join nearly 6,000 other immediate family members of Mankato West students at this vacant store in Madison East Shopping Center. This is where State Health Department workers will perform free immunizations and distribute the antibiotic rifampin to help reduce the risk of contracting meningitis.
The Department of Health believes that this is the best action to take to prevent the spread of it.
At Mankato's Emmanuel St. Joseph Hospital, nurses are taking in calls from curious and worried residents. More than 1,200 people phoned in Saturday. It is here that 5 of the meningitis victims are hospitalized.
The 3-year-old who has been the latest patient has been moved out of intensive care and is in stable and good condition, and I guess is just doing very well. And the other patients are in stable condition.
Despite the outbreak, Mankato West High School will open Monday morning. Some students, however, plan to stay home.
In a way, we're kind of scared to all be together because we don't want to spread it, But
the State Department of Health maintains that keeping school open is safe and perhaps even better than having the students off and socializing in the community. Now, if you have questions about this meningitis outbreak, here's the number of the phone bank at Emmanuel St. Joseph Hospital in Mankato. It is area code 507-389-4650, and nurses will be answering the phones between 8:30 a.m. and 11:30 p.m. Here, the immunizations will begin at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, and they will continue through 11 a.m. They pick up again at 3 in the afternoon and go until 7 tomorrow night. Mike?
One question, Angela. For those students who decide not to show up in the next few days, despite what the health officials are saying, will they be reprimanded by the school?
Well, Mankato West High School is being lenient during this crisis. The absences, we're told, over the next couple of days will not be counted against the students. And also, some of the teachers are enabling the students to call in and find out what assignments they may be missing so they can keep up with their homework.
Okay, Angela, thank you. Within the last 2 hours, we've gotten word from Minnetonka police that 19-year-old Allison Happ is no longer missing. The young woman from Waconia is apparently down in Mexico on her own free will. For the last 2 days, friends and family members had posted her picture throughout the western metro after Allison's car was found at Ridgedale, but there was no sign of her. 8 investigators worked the case this weekend until learning about her Mexico trip. What looked like a mysterious hit and run that left a Bemidji woman dead has turned into a murder case for Oregon police tonight, and the woman's Bemidji boyfriend, 38-year-old Gordon Hoagland, is behind bars in connection with the killing. Reporter Jeremy Diesel has the details.
One here, one at the midpoint. Okay. Up here, 4.
State police reconstructionists are trying to put together the pieces of what happened here at the Valley of the Rogue State Park Friday night. 34-year-old Pamela Marie Bennett of Bemidji, Minnesota, died after apparently being hit by a vehicle. Initially, 38-year-old Gordon Hoagland, also of Minnesota, claimed that another vehicle had hit his girlfriend, then sped off down Interstate 5. Yesterday, police could find no sign of an accident at the park. An all-points bulletin was issued for Hoagland yesterday afternoon. There was no sign of him until about 5 o'clock when he called police from this Central Point Tavern. Hoagland was arrested on charges of filing a false police report. But police say when they confronted Hoagland about discrepancies in his story, he allegedly broke down and told them he'd been arguing with Bennett and accidentally struck her as he drove away in his van with a 26-foot trailer. There is evidence found today in the southbound on-ramp to I-5 at Valley of the Rogue.
Just like any incident, when you're relying on the word or the statements of one person, you just have to take what they tell you and kind of backtrack from there.
Which ends up leading back here at this point?
Well, it appears to be. Certainly there's blood and trace evidence here on the highway, or on the exit ramp.
Hoagland's being held in the Jackson County Jail. The Jackson County Sheriff's Department is leading the investigation, which is continuing.
Now, the couple was heading home after a trip to Las Vegas. Here in the Twin Cities, a church is lending a helping hand to another accident victim. 9-year-old Brianna Thingvall has been in a coma since August when a van hit her while she was riding her bike. Today, St. Peter's Church had what it called a fun day for Brianna to raise money for her medical bills.
when you think you're just a little fish in the ocean and you realize that, no, these people are out here and they care and they're supporting.
King Boreas and the Queen of Snows even stopped by to make Brianna's mother and brother honorary knights of the St. Paul Winter Carnival. For you Twins fans wondering if owners and players would meet the president's deadline for a settlement tomorrow, it doesn't look good tonight. But President Clinton is considering action of his own. Eric joins us a little early with that story now. Eric?
I think the Prez is going to send negotiations into extra innings, Mike. I think it's going to happen. You know, for years we've heard politicians vow to downsize government, but it now appears that government is about to get into the business of pro baseball. The latest round of negotiations between players and owners has failed to come up with a resolution to the strike this weekend, and that tonight prompted federal mediator Bill Ussery to submit his recommendations to President Clinton as requested by the president.
The next 24 hours are going to be absolutely critical. He asked Bill Ussery again to report to him by 5 o'clock tomorrow on where things stood, on recommendations, if necessary, for a settlement. He was very emphatic.
In a statement tonight, President Clinton extended his deadline until 4 o'clock our time tomorrow. If baseball can't get it done by then, the president could ask for special legislation to impose a settlement. Now, some significant moves from this weekend include the players offering to eliminate salary arbitration if they become free agents. The players may also be lifting their contract signing freeze tonight in a conference call, while the owners may counterpunch with a signing freeze of their own tomorrow. Mike, it's crazy. Spring training is scheduled to start a week from Thursday.
Just ended. Hope it happens.
See what happens.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. In other news around America tonight, a gas heater sparked a fire in a crowded Georgia trailer home, killing 5 children. Authorities say 20 people were sleeping in this small trailer when the fire broke out early this morning in the town of Portal. The young victims ranged in age from 2 to 7 years old. In California, a fiery explosion on an expressway. 1 man is dead. The tanker truck was carrying 6,000 gallons of liquefied petroleum when it hit a guardrail, flipped over, then burst into flames in Oakland. The truck's driver died at the scene. Nearby drivers found themselves trapped in the middle of it.
We saw this humongous explosion, and we saw this big orange fireball just roll up on both sides of the freeway. It totally engulfed the freeway. Debris was flying everywhere. And we just drove through it because I couldn't stop. We were right in the middle of it, and it was like being in an inferno.
Authorities say the fireball from that explosion shot more than 100 feet into the air. A gruesome scene in one of Philadelphia's more crime-ridden neighborhoods. A crowd of more than 50 people gathered outside this apartment building as police pulled out the bodies of 4 murder victims. The young men were gunned down inside the building. Police are looking for suspects tonight. Also on the East Coast, the worst of the winter storm is over tonight. People in New York City spent the day digging out after more than a foot of snow fell over most of the region. Strong winds are the problem now. Gusts nearing 60 miles an hour are knocking down power lines. Thousands of residents in Massachusetts are still in the dark tonight. Back in California, letters from well-wishers continue to pile up for O.J. Simpson tonight, but they're piling up in the wrong place. Postal officials in the northern California town of Brentwood say they're ending up with thousands of cards, letters, and even fruit baskets for O.J. The mail is marked Brentwood, California, but Simpson's home is in an exclusive area of Los Angeles called Brentwood. In the meantime, Simpson's murder trial resumes tomorrow, and Nicole Simpson's sister will take the stand once again. Denise Brown's emotional testimony brought things to an early close on Friday. Some Japanese men commandeered a Northwest Airlines jet this afternoon. Actually, they're Japanese journalists learning how to fly a Northwest flight simulator in Egan. The machine shows passengers how it feels to pilot a real flight by reproducing turbulence and other severe weather conditions.
If it was a bike or the car, he could manage very good, but he couldn't this time because it's the first time for him to manage the cockpit.
The group is touring the upper Midwest with stops at Mount Rushmore, the Mall of America, and the St. Paul Winter Carnival. They're interested in Mount Rushmore because a Japanese park is about to produce a smaller scale version of the monument. Well, the Winter Carnival officially ended last night when the Vulcans overthrew King Boreas, but there were still some last-minute events going on today. Dozens showed up near the Como Park Pavilion for the Frosty Fingers kite fly, and those were Frosty Fingers holding onto that kite string. But for a few, it paid off when they won a free kite. And then there were the old-fashioned sleigh rides. These horse-drawn antique sleighs cut quite a path through Como Park today. Organizers were planning to offer dog sled rides as well, but there isn't enough snow on the ground, so they called those rides off. And this evening, the Winter Carnival came to a fiery finish. St. Paul residents whooped it up at the Great Thaw bonfire on Harriet Island. Mayor Norm Coleman and members of the St. Paul Vulcans did their best to light up the night with a little song.
It's a great game of fire and brimstone. It's a great game to know. They are full of vision and vigor, and their watchword is let's go, 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 go.
Well, we're supposed to go now towards spring, but the end of the Winter Carnival ended up being much colder than the start. Still ahead, these pint-sized snowmobile pilots mean business. Get a look at some stiff competition between some young Minnesota speed demons. And get your first glimpse of some of the new high-tech gadgets on the horizon as we begin a week-long Focus 5 special report.
Imagine playing in cyberspace while sitting at home. You will. Imagine using your TV to pay bills. You will. It's a Focus 5 trip to the future that will blow your mind. Tonight at 10 on Channel 5 Eyewitness News. Closed captioning of Eyewitness News is brought to you in part by your local Lincoln Mercury dealer.
My Mercury Villager is a minivan that drives like a car, so I call it a sport coupe for 7 people. It can help you handle the curves and help you handle your finances with value like this. Amazing when you consider Villager comes with V6 power, 4-wheel anti-lock brakes, airbag, and a sliding rear seat for quick loading. Villager. There's no mini in this minivan. Mercury Villager at your Lincoln Mercury dealer now.
The St. Croix Casino is growing, and we're celebrating with a big grand opening party. There's a free $10,000 giveaway, a free big band dance, great food specials, free concerts by the Hoop Snakes, and performances by country legend Waylon Jennings. So knock yourself out during grand opening week, February 5th to the 11th.
Pass the pasta, pass the pasta, pass the pasta, if you please. Pass it now, it's pasta, please. Pasta had Applebee's, a sauce Alfredo, a shrimp linguine, lasagna with 3 kinds of cheese. And you can share a marinara. Pass the pasta, please. So, pass the pasta, pass the pasta, pass the pasta, please. Pass the pasta. You just have to. Pass the pasta. It won't cost you. Pass the pasta. Pass the saucer. Pass the pasta, please. America's favorite neighbor, Applebee's.
Imagine if your television could pay your bills, or if your appointment book could turn into a phone. Every year, fantasy meets reality at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. This year, Channel 5's Michael Gargiulo got to check out the hottest new products before they hit the stores.
Viva Las Vegas!
It happens in Las Vegas, a city dedicated to putting pleasure before business.
Viva Las Vegas!
Yet it's here that 100,000 people gather for the Consumer Electronics Show, where the products that promise to change your life are unveiled every year.
This is a device that allows you to listen to television on any radio you already own.
This is a digital still camera. It can hold 96 images in its memory.
This is a completely new technology.
What makes this special is that the person can come home.
A convention of this size overwhelms even Las Vegas. Every hotel is filled, every taxi is taken, and you can forget about getting into a good restaurant. But the more than 100,000 conventioneers put up with all these inconveniences because of what's at stake. Their share of the more than $55 billion consumer electronic market.
Oh, it's extremely important. Everything kind of circulates around this particular show. The Winter CES show is the big show of the year. So all the new products get launched at this show.
It was here in 1970 that the VCR debuted. In 1974, the first Laserdisc players were demonstrated. And in 1981, a remarkable double debut. The camcorder and the compact disc player were both unveiled at the Consumer Electronics Show. Is the next VCR or camcorder somewhere among the thousands of new products coming out this year? At the very least, the show's hottest items come with the guarantee that they'll allow you to do things you could never do before. Hopkins native John Wenzel says travelers can find their way through a strange town as long as they're using his company's vehicle navigation system.
Today, you have now an electronic replacement for a regular paper map.
I have check balances, transfer funds, make payments.
So we want to make payments. There's also a lot of buzz about AT&T's new TV information system, which uses your television to answer the phone and even pay bills.
I keep my entire name card file on here. I have about 200.
Sony introduces its Magic Link, an email, fax, appointment book, and pager all in one. And here in Las Vegas, even the industry insiders lined up for the debut of Nintendo's Virtual Boy.
Do all your focusing first.
Their first standalone virtual reality game.
It's totally different in that it's three-dimensional. You get this complete sensation of depth.
In all, more than 2,000 exhibitors are displaying the very latest in consumer electronics here, all hoping for the same unofficial accolade, to have the product everyone believes is the next big thing. In Las Vegas, Michael Gargiulo, Channel 5, Eyewitness News.
Now that's just a preview because we'll be taking a close-up look at some of the products you've just seen and many others all this week on Eyewitness News at 6:30. And here's what you'll see on tomorrow's Focus 5 report.
Pampering your pup with premium pet food make them happy, healthy, and wise? Or are they expensive eats, just a waste of your hard-earned money? Tomorrow, Channel 5 News will pit pampered pets up against cheaply fed canines.
Go get him, Brutus!
Which one will live longer?
Ooh, Fifi, don't lift your hair up.
And which one will make its owner happier? Focus 5 reports on the pet food fight, tomorrow at 10 on Channel 5. You're watching Channel 5 Eyewitness News at 10 with Mike Binkley, Eric Gislason with sports, and meteorologist David George with Doppler Radar 5.
Long before we ever built the first car here at Saturn, we were looking for ways to be a little friendlier to our planet. We've had some great ideas.
A car that runs on vegetables.
No idea is too crazy. All told, last year we reprocessed over 40,000 tons of material.
Take the bumper off of the car and make a skateboard.
To have a car that's totally recyclable someday would be a magnificent event. I'd like to be part of that.
Have the Baron anytime. Red Baron Deep Dish Singles.
This Eyewitness News weather report is sponsored by Subway, home of the half-price second sub sale.
After some trial and error, we've come up with the better chicken sub. Presenting Subway's Hot Chicken Barbecue, now made with big chunks of chicken and plenty of Lloyd's secret recipe sauce. Only at Subway.
As we were saying earlier, the Winter Carnival started out with some of the ice sculptures actually melting away, and now that it's over, supposedly signaling the coming of spring, we've gone into the deep freeze.
Well, we thought spring had sprung when it started. Temperatures in the 30s. We had one day during the Winter Carnival at 46 degrees, and today 33 degrees below that. But still not a lot of snow. Our winter weather has made a comeback. Arctic air is in here now, and as far as the weekend went, it was bright, it was beautiful, and temperatures conducive to parkas and long underwear. Keep those things handy throughout the week. It's going to stay fairly chilly. Looking outside right now, via Tower Cam 5, we're aimed along University Avenue towards St. Paul and Midway. And it's quiet out there tonight. We have a clear sky around the Twin Cities. The wind is light northwesterly. The air is dry, and our current temperature is 3 above. Our maximum temperature today on this February 5th, 13 degrees. Our low temperature, -3. Sunrise at 7:26. Sunsets tomorrow at 5:28. Our day length increasing by at least 2 minutes per day. Well, there's yours truly. This is in Eagan, Lostburg Country Club. Other Channel 5 members, Eric Gislason, Mark Garvey, Randy Meyer, and Lars Kipfer. There he is, right there, putting on in. Not nearly as much snow as they usually have for this event. They usually play golf in the snow for the Winter Carnival and knee-deep snow. That was not the case this year, and our tea time temperature was 1 below. In fact, here in the Twin Cities, our last measurable snow was 2 weeks ago, and we're about a foot below average. You have to go into central and northern Minnesota to get a half foot or more, and through the Arrowhead and across northern Wisconsin, still about a foot. So it has been unusually dry as far as our white stuff is concerned. Today's high in Duluth, 7 above, Green Bay at 12, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, 17. Arctic air continually spilling down out of the north and northwest, but kind of a warm-up here around the Black Hills of South Dakota. Rapid City 46, and Grand Island, Nebraska hit 51. A weak system in the northwest, not much happening there. Most of the country dry, and our big snowstorm in the northeast has really moved up toward the Canadian Maritimes. The big cities over the weekend had 7 to 12 inches. Upstate New York through New England, about a foot and a half. And what we're left with is some mid and high-level clouds across the Dakotas with very light flurry and snow shower activity. In fact, regional composite radar putting some snow showers just outside of Sioux Falls and Sioux City, and that is it. We haven't talked about temperatures this low in quite some time. Right now, 13 below Bemidji and Hibbing, minus 20 in International Falls, St. Cloud at minus 3, and single digits across southern Minnesota. This surface high gave us sunshine and light winds today that will drift off toward the east, and this trough and surface low will increase our clouds tomorrow and may produce a flurry. It will stay cold, though, all week. My forecast tonight, mostly clear, low of 5 below with light wind. Tomorrow at 9 o'clock, a temperature of 0 and mostly sunny. And then during the afternoon, the clouds increasing, perhaps a flurry with highs in the mid-teens. On Tuesday, partly sunny and 19, some lower 20s Wednesday, and then a reinforcing shot of cold air Thursday and Friday with flurries and snow showers. If it's going to be cold, we need the snow.
Yeah, we do. All right, David, thanks. Well, some of Minnesota's best pint-sized snowmobile drivers were out in force today on Chisholm's Longyear Lake. These little guys were vying for top honors in the World Series Kitty Cat Championships. The contest drew more than 60 drivers from all over the country. There's one qualification. You have to be between 4 and 10 years old to hit the ice with these guys. Look at them go. Up next, the Wolves get beamed, and beamed bad in Boston. But a better showing by some Vikings at the Pro Bowl as the NFC battles the AFC in Honolulu. Eric Gisselson has it all in sports.
It's taken 12 months to get to this point. And now, we're getting nervous. It's time for Best Buy's audio-video model year-end clearance. We've got too many TVs, VCRs, stereos, camcorders, speakers, and components. So we cut prices and mark down hundreds of audio and video products. Plus, get no payments for 6 months on everything at Best Buy. Hurry in now, because time runs out Saturday.
Showboat, Broadway's smash hit musical, is coming to the Twin Cities. Recreated by director Harold Prince, Jerome Kern and Oscar Hammerstein II's classic musical tale begins previews July 6, 1995 at the Ordway Music Theater. Tickets to Showboat go on sale this Monday at 10 a.m. at the Ordway box office, all Ticketmaster outlets, or call 612-224-1428.
This is the Pontiac Grand Am. This is the Grand Canyon. This is the Pontiac Grand Prix. This is the Grand Tetons. When you buy or lease this or this, you'll also get this, or even this. And not postcards. Get a round-trip ticket to any Northwest airline destination in the continental U.S., Canada, the Caribbean, or Mexico. Buy or lease this or this, and get this or this or this. A round-trip ticket through Results, Travel, and Incentives with their Grand Am or Grand Prix. Right now at your Pontiac Excitement dealer.
Why is KS95 your favorite radio station?
Best variety in the Twin Cities. Great station to turn to. Better mix.
A lot of variety.
Keeps me going. Good music. Gives me a lot of energy throughout the day. 70s, 80s, and 90s. I think it plays a great variety. KS95.
Definitely KS95.
The best variety of the 70s, 80s, and today. KS95.
Well, we've seen the last of pro football for this season, and the AFC maybe saved a little face today in a game that really didn't mean a whole lot.
Do you know how many days until training camp opens?
How many?
Who cares?
Yeah, I suppose.
Here we are in February. It's no Super Bowl, but some Vikings came up big in this year's Pro Bowl in Honolulu as we finally say aloha to pro football for another year. Didn't take this year's game long to get that Viking flavor. Floyd Reves opened up the scoring with a 28-yard field goal in the first quarter. And then Super Bowl MVP Steve Young hit Viking unofficial MVP Chris Carter for 51 yards and a touchdown, and the NFC led 10-0. How's this for a threesome for a backup to a backup to a backup? Steve Young, Troy Aikman, and the Vikings' Warren Moon. Moon played in the second half. Nothing spectacular, although his 38-year-old frame took a pretty good lick out of bounds. John Randall and Jack Del Rio rounded out the Vikings representatives in this year's 41-13 win for the AFC. Rookie Marshall Faulk set a new record in rushing with 180 yards and a touchdown. The old mark was held by O.J. Simpson. Don't expect the Timberwolves to be on site paying tribute to Boston Gardens when they tear it down a little later this year. The T-Wolves were in the Gardens one last time tonight, and they're saying good riddance. J.R. Ryder hit a nice off-balance shot, but Boston was already up 25-17 in the first. Ryder at 18. D. Brown was hitting from downtown Boston tonight. This three-pointer was part of his 16-point second quarter. He finished with 23. The Celts win this one in a walk, 115-82. The Wolves go down in history as having only won once in the Gardens. Basketball, baseball, you name it, we'll rap about it tonight on Sunday Sports Wrap. And here to rap more about the rap is Joe Schmidt.
All right, Eric, we're going to hit all the issues tonight on Sunday Sports Wrap. First off, the Minnesota Vikings. What will the effect be of the bad week of public relations that this team has had? Patrick Royce will talk about that. Trent Tucker will be here to talk basketball, both about the Gophers and the NBA. Plus, we'll hear from Major League Baseball players on the strike and the hopes that this mess will be settled soon. It's your basic potpourri of sports, and we do hope you join us. Sunday Sports Wrap coming up next.
And we do hope it'll be settled soon. Thanks, Schmitty. Another unlikely winner at Pebble Beach this year. Last year it was Johnny Miller. This year it was Peter Jacobson. The shot of the day, however, was turned in by Scott Simpson, who came up with a beauty. He holes out for double eagle here, although I'm not sure who was more excited about it, Simpson or his playing partner, Bill Murray. Tom Watson also came up with the gem today. Watch him chip out of the deep rough and drain it for bird. Then he took off on his patented run, a la Pebble Beach Pass. But this championship Sunday starred Peter Jacobson. He'll sink the nice birdie here on 12 en route to a 7-under 65. His 17-under score was the tournament's new record. The red-hot St. Paul Vulcan junior hockey team ran into a roadblock called Des Moines today. The first-place Buccaneers came to Mariucci Arena and beat the Vulcans 6-2. Bobby Davis scored this first-period goal to give Des Moines a 3-0 lead. The third-place Vulcans could not mount a rally and lost 6-2. And they were fishing for money and prizes. And, oh, yeah, fish, too, today on Forest Lake for the annual ice fishing contest. They tell me they drilled 8,000 holes today, and every hole was occupied. I didn't say active. I said occupied. They gave away 10 grand to the 100th place finisher in that one. And more home ice today. The Bandy Championships, the World Bandy Championships, wrapped up over at the John Rose Ice Oval in Roseville. Russia in blue, Sweden in yellow emerged from the field and battled for the championship. And perhaps it's only fitting that a bunch of Swedes won in Minnesota. Sweden beat Russia for the title 5-4. Coming from a family of Swedes, all you can say is oofda.
Ah, you betcha. Yeah, sure.
Exactly. Gopher women's basketball team lost to Wisconsin today. Mike, the Gopher wrestling team beat Wisconsin.
Okay, Eric, thanks. Still ahead on Eyewitness News, one last look at the grand finale of this year's Winter Carnival and see just who's got the fastest hands in Texas. We're not talking about a gunfight either.
As the Northland's largest Ford conversion van dealer, Chowsley Ford's selection is truly amazing. Over 150 conversion vans available from manufacturers like Waldock, Tierra, Universal, and Explorer. And everyone has a pre-discounted price, so you don't have to negotiate. There's no haggling because everyone pays the same low discounted bottom line price. And just announced a cash rebate of $1,500 on all new 94s to make them even more affordable. No matter how far away you live, it's worth the trip to Towsley's exclusive conversion van center here in White Bear Lake.
Centuries ago, an ingenious Italian chef created a masterpiece called ravioli. At Contadina, we've taken that passion even further with our chicken and rosemary ravioli. Like all Contadina refrigerated pastas, it's always freshly made for a tender-hearted taste that's hard to resist. Try it with our new pesto with sun-dried tomatoes and create your own masterpiece. Contadina refrigerated pastas and sauces, the freshest ideas in Italian cooking.
Push our button, and we'll push yours. AM 1500 KSTP, the talk station. We may not be cute, but we've got great personalities. Find us. Need to clear your head? AM 1500 KSTP, the talk station. We may not be cute, but we've got great personalities. Find us. Freedom of expression, 24 hours a day. AM 1500 KSTP, the talk station. We may not be cute, but we've got great personalities. Find us.
Finally tonight, parents changed thousands of them, and today all that practice paid off for a Texas dad. A Houston radio station said it was looking for the fastest diaper changer around. So parents went up against the clock at a toy store this afternoon to see just who had the fastest hands. Now, this lucky guy walked away with top honors and a $150 gift certificate for his quick change. Now, you notice those weren't real babies. I think you can be a little less careful with teddy bears. Anyway, please join us tomorrow for Eyewitness News Morning. Channel 5's Angela Davis is following the meningitis outbreak in Mankato, and she'll have live coverage of this newest round of vaccinations. We leave you tonight with another look at the grand finale of this year's Winter Carnival, the Great Thaw Bonfire. Good night.